I haven't seen anyone else explain personal branding like this. So what I'm about to show you right now, I'm calling Romina's hierarchy of personal branding. TM. Before I jump into explaining my pyramid, which was hand delivered to me in my dreams by the ancient gods of wisdom, I'm sure you're already familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I needed something that was a little bit more business oriented and not so much life stuff. And thus, Romina's hierarchy of personal branding was born. The first tier is solvency. This is where all of the basic expenses of a brand is met. In order to start working on the personal brand, having this level of security, I feel, is important. Once you have the security tier fulfilled, then it makes it so much easier to move on to the next steps. These are the basic needs of the company, the business, the brand. Here is where all of the monthly expenses go. Once you've figured out what your monthly expenses are, then you have this target amount. And once you've reached that target amount and you are able to consistently pay those bills with your brand, then you can move on to the next step, which is profiting. When you're profiting, you are thriving, not just surviving. This is the point when you can start to do other things within your brand that you weren't really able to do before because it wasn't bringing in consistent income. Maybe it's venturing into doing coaching or some higher ticket item like a workshop. I know there's going to be people who are controversial on this because they think that you should just start with the higher tier item, but that isn't always the case. I feel like the goal here isn't necessarily whether you're starting with a higher tier product or not, but rather what is going to bring you the most consistent income every month so that you can start your business. So again, the goal is to focus on solvency. What is going to meet those minimum debts that you have every single month so that you can move forward? And maybe for you, it is a higher tier item. Maybe you're able to consistently get clients every month that will pay you those thousands of dollars in order to cover your basic needs, your expenses. But for a lot of people, I find that those higher tier items don't come in as often. Maybe you'll have a workshop every 3 months. But what happens for those other 2 months when you're not hosting a workshop? So I think that it's important to have those basic expenses met every month before moving on. Now that you're starting to make a little bit more money than you need, the next level is expansion. This is the part of the personal brand building where you start to hire. When you delegate, you're able to 2x, 3x, 5x the amount of output for your personal brand. So for example, if I'm making a single video every week for my YouTube channel, I hire a video editor, then maybe I'm able to make 2 or 3 videos every week. But I'm not able to do that until I start profiting and until my basic expenses every month are met. You see the pattern here? Do you see where I'm going with this? If this is all making sense to you, then please subscribe because I feel like I've hit a breakthrough here and I want to include you in this. I want you to be here along on the ride with me. Next up, we have growth. This is the part of the brand where you can start to diversify. This is when you start to create merch that you never thought you were gonna make. This is when you start to provide those services and those products that you never even imagined could be a part of your personal brand. Or maybe you did imagine it, but like I said, you were at a stage where you weren't able to do it. For example, see Apple, and they were making computers, and then all of a sudden they come out with a car. This is the part of the brand where they start to really branch out into other types of industries. Another example is Amazon, the everything store. It didn't start off as the everything store, started off selling books, and now they sell everything. The growth stage is when you will do a little bit more experimenting with your personal brand. Lastly, this is the tippy top of the pyramid. This is the ultimate level, the tier that we all want to reach, which is detachment. This is when you have achieved a level of success and your brand is strong enough that you can experiment as an individual without affecting the success of the brand. This is the Jeff Bezos. This is the Elon Musk. She's just being herself. She's living her life. She is straight up ballin'. This goes hand in hand with self-actualization, folks, but it is tied it specifically relates to personal branding because we are still talking about a business that is connected to a person, an individual. When you're first starting your personal brand, you might have to be a little bit careful about the voice of your brand because the brand or the business is you. So how you carry yourself every day, how you look, how you talk, the kinds of things that you talk about are all things that affect your business, even though you are still a human. So of course you're going to have likes and dislikes that have nothing to do with your personal brand or the public image that is related to your business. Okay. Why did I make this? I felt like I needed to zoom in there, make that really dramatic. I was thinking about my own personal brand when I made this, and I'll explain how Romina's hierarchy of personal branding relates to my own personal brand in a minute. First, I want to tell you why I made this and why I am sharing it with you. I feel like this kind of strategy encourages long-term thinking. I find that because personal brands are so personal, it can be a little bit difficult to detach the person that you are as an individual with the brand or the business that you are building. The reason that I am building my personal brand is not just because of the financial success that I can gain from it, but also because of the fulfillment. It's a wonderful opportunity to explore new opportunities in my life, to grow as an individual, and to share that growth process with people and help others to grow as well. It also gives me the ability to innovate because I'm trying new things and I'm experimenting. And because my business is so tied up with who I am as an individual, I think that it's important to think about sustainable growth that also includes self-development. I think that this whole strategy and this whole idea is empowering. It lets me see far into the future. It lets me envision the person that I am 10x. And I want you to feel just as empowered. So how does this all apply to my personal brand? I'm going to give you a live example here. Let's start off with the first tier, which is Solvency. For me, it's my online courses, monetization on YouTube, and my digital products, the things that I write and sell online. So the reason that these are in my Solvency is because I've already started the process of having passive income. So continuing to have automated income to cover my personal monthly expenses is what's most important to me in that stage. Now, for me, it's YouTube because I already have monetized YouTube channels. But for other people, it might be the one-on-one coaching because they already have enough clients or enough of an audience to justify that. Or for other people, it might be writing. For example, maybe they are a published author and they are already making some money from that. In the profiting stage, that's where I start to do the one-on-one coaching, the live events, the workshops, the public speaking. And the reason that I've placed those things in the profiting for my personal brand is because it doesn't come as consistently. I'm not doing a public speaking engagement every month. So I'm not getting paid every month from public speaking. This is why it goes into the profiting stage. In the expansion phase, that's when I hire people like video editors, a video producer, a speaking agent to help me with my public speaking engagements and bookings, or maybe even hiring an assistant to help with more personal stuff like archiving or organizing things in the home, making phone calls. For growth, I have writing and product development and podcasting. Podcasting is something that I would love to get back into, but I don't want to do it right now. I feel like it's something that I want to completely delegate and not have to worry about. literally would like to just show up for that. But for other people, it might be in the solvency because they've started off with a podcast that is monetized. I am a published author and I do write every day. At this stage, the writing that I'm talking about specifically is for my nonfiction novel, which I have put on hold while I'm working on other stuff with my personal brand. This is a stage where I publish my nonfiction book and other forms of writing that I have as well that may or may not fit in with my personal brand. Lastly, for detachment, I'm thinking this is the stage where I'm going to be doing some learning. I'm going to be innovating. I'm going to be experimenting. This is where I explore, where I try new things that I haven't done before. For example, maybe this is the part where I learn how to knit, or maybe this is where I don't do anything for 30 days and I just focus on learning German or whatever language I feel like learning at the time. These are the types of experiments that I can do at this stage that won't affect my personal brand because it's strong enough. It's a well-oiled machine that can run without me. Are you trying to start a personal brand? I don't know why I pointed at the camera like this is an infomercial. It's not. I just want to know about you. Let me know in the comments if you're starting a personal brand, or if you're working on your brand or struggling with it, or if you just want to let me know that you enjoyed this video, then please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. For now, I'm gonna go. So I will see you when I see you.